What document represents the supreme law of the land today? The U.S. Constitution. And the U.S. Constitution, how many people here have read the U.S. Constitution in, say, the last year? I better see you raise your hand. All right, lots of hands go up. Y'all grade my papers and see if I get this more or less right. I will submit to you that there are two primary actors within the U.S. Constitution that's described. The first actor, the most important actor, the most important component of the U.S. Constitution is actually the first three words of that document. What's that?
We the people.
We the people. This is a good group. I like that. We the people. And we the people is the first and primary actor, and we the people create government, which is the second actor. Really the only other actor, big time, that's there. How many times, like, it's weirdly worth pointing out that the word person or people is used repeatedly throughout that document. Here's a pop quiz. How many times is the word corporation used in the U.S. Constitution? Zero. Not a cotton-picking time. That might be a suggestion to us that the Founding Fathers did not expect the corporation to play any meaningful role in our body politic. And especially for those people who suffer from what I call founder fetishism. You know, those people who think that, oh, no matter what, we have to find out what the founders' original intent is. You know, well then, if they didn't actually mention corporations in this document ever, then the founders did not intend corporations to be involved at the level that they are. How about that, Roberts? How about that, Alito? You know, how about that? I'm so sick and tired of these right-wing judges and their hypocrisy. I really am. I mean, I'm tired of left-wing judges and their hypocrisy too. But the right-wing judges are really beyond the pale here. They claim that they have a respect for prior decisions and stare decisis, but they overturn 100 years of precedent. They say that they engage in judicial restraint and abhor judicial activism, but they overturn democratically enacted laws at the drop of a hat. They say that they care about the founders' original intent, and they don't even engage in the bare minimum of philosophic, intellectual inquiry or honesty. You know what? They're liars. They're liars. End of that rant for now, but I think I'll be back. But now let's get back to the Constitution. So we the people into this document are described as being free and sovereign. And by the way, remind me, what does sovereign mean? Who rules? We the people rule. Government is described as being subordinate and accountable. Government is not actually supposed to rule us. Government is supposed to be accountable to us. Government is supposed to be subordinate to whom? The people. Government is supposed to be accountable to whom? The people. In fact, we the people under this idea are described as having individual rights. Government is described as having collective duties. And now it's important to understand that government does not have rights over the people, ever. In fact, government, we the people are not ever supposed to be afraid of our government. Actually, the contrary is true. Government is supposed to be afraid of us. And I think that we've really got something wrong here when we have a system operating where so many of us are literally afraid of our own government. That's not the way this is supposed to operate, y'all. I mean, we're not following the operating instructions. No wonder it's broken. We the people are free and sovereign with individual rights. Government is subordinate and accountable with collective duties. And what duties does government have? Why, only the duties that we the people say. Think of it this way. All political power resides with the people. But we delegate a certain amount of power to government. How much power would we delegate to government? Why, only enough to do the duties that we've actually told them to do. And I look at this and I think, hey man, this is great. Like, I really like this, the way this is set up, because it really captures my civil libertarian impulses. You know, my idea that there are certain things that I can say or do, and I don't need anybody's permission to do it. I've got certain rights, and I can do it. And by the way, the interchange between rights and duties is one of the very foundations of the whole Western concept of law itself. Put it this way, if I have the right to do something, I don't need your permission. I don't need this entire body's permission. I don't need the state of Florida's permission. I don't need the U.S. government's permission. Hell, I'm from Texas. I don't need my mama's permission. You know what I'm saying? If I have the right to do something, I can damn well do it. That's what it means to have a right. So think about it this way. In my private sphere, I am sacrosanct. And that is a profound idea, and our sisters and brothers who are libertarians get it right. And we should really heed them whenever they warn us about government encroachments upon our rights. But I think, honestly, too often our libertarian brothers and sisters forget that it's not just the private sphere, because the constitutional framework itself also understands that there's a public component. That there is a level at which, when I am acting, if and when I am actually impacting the body politic group together, that there is also a consideration. In other words, there is a libertarian impulse of our rights, but this document also accepts, understands, appreciates that there is a communitarian ethic to what we do. I look at this and I am totally serious. This constitutional framework is brilliant. It's beautiful. We should try that in this country. I think this would work. And I am not even joking. We should totally do this because it would really work as a way for we the people to actually organize our society and government. And we've never really done it. And because before I go 1 second further, waxing poetic about the U.S. constitutional framework, time out. Somebody tell me what year the Constitution was either drafted in convention or actually ratified, either day. 1789. That's the actual ratification year. So, and 87 is the Constitutional Convention. But so when it's drafted is 87, it's ratified in 1789. Let's actually ask ourselves, who actually were legally persons under law at this time?
White.
White, you had to be white. If you were not white, you absolutely, you had to own property. So being white alone is not enough. You had to own property, and it was a significant amount of property. Anything else?
Male.
You had to be a man. So if you're a woman, you're not literally, legally, you're not a person. In fact, not only, like, you can't own property. You are property. There's another one that a lot of people forget about sometimes. You had to be in the right religion. If you weren't in the right religion in most states, you could not participate. You literally could not prevail upon the government. I mean, when you say it that way, you have to realize that this country is also, for all its profound and beautiful rhetoric and really intellectual brilliance, it is in practice a founding violence. It is a founding violence against the indigenous who were actually living here and subject to intentional, deliberate, genocidal policies. And let me tell you something, sisters and brothers, there's a psychic debt that still has not been fully paid for that.